What a great day it is to be an Alabama Crimson Tide fan. Kalen DeBoer, Courtney Morgan, Christian Robinson have done it yet again on the recruiting trail, adding a second five-star commitment now to Alabama's 2026 recruiting class. Welcome into the show. Chris Daughtry here with the Alabama Football Report. Alabama has just landed the commitment of five-star linebacker Xavier Griffin. We're going to break it all down on today's show, where Alabama sits right now in the recruiting rankings. This one gets them now into the top 10 in the 247 Sports recruiting rankings. Also going to talk about some commitment dates coming up here, because in the next 4 or 5 days, Alabama's got an opportunity to add another 4 or 5 targets in this class, and also a 4-star defensive lineman has now been predicted to the Crimson Tide. So we're going to break it all down on today's show, but make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. You know, we put out, 4 shorts over the weekend now. When those commitments happen, that we're going to break down later in the show, we put those out and we kept you guys up to date. To help us out, our next goal here on the channel is 26,000 subscribers, only 377 away. To help me out, stay up to date on all things Crimson Tide news, hit that sub button for me right now. All right, Xavier Griffin, the 5-star linebacker out of the state of Georgia. And what a job Alabama's done recruiting the state of Georgia in this recruiting cycle as well. Listed at 6'3", 200 pounds. A lot of people really been comparing him to a guy like Jahad Campbell. You know, you remember him. He came in actually as an edge rusher and moved to that middle linebacker spot once he once that need was kind of there, Alabama was able to put him there. I think that's the thing that Xavier Griffin could do possibly as well. As of right now, he's going to be playing that wolf position for Alabama. And just really, man, want to give a shout out to Christian Robinson. What a job he did in Xavier Griffin's recruitment. Now, obviously, still a lot of time to go before, signing day and the early signing period and everything like that. But just getting Xavier Griffin on board, committed, your second 5-star in this class. Now, man, what a incredible job this Alabama coaching staff has done. Because if you guys remember, originally USC is where Griffin was committed to, and I kept them on this top schools list just because. At one point he was committed to them. So kept him on there. But really, after he ended up decommitting from USC, there really wasn't a lot of buzz for the Trojans there. Really, it was Alabama, Texas, Ohio State, in my opinion, were really the 3 schools that were really getting a lot of buzz there for Xavier Griffin. But Alabama is the team that gets the commitment there. I guess Florida State was also, their beat writers were kind of trying to, put that narrative out there that Florida State was still in the running there. But for the most part, it was Alabama all the way after that decommitment there from USC. Now, before we continue here in just a second, want to give a shout out to the people that really spam the comments the most the other day here on the channel. You know, we've been doing this the last couple of weeks. We've been doing our shout-out challenge. YK Logan Zagetsu, I guess that's how you pronounce it there, the official H Putt, and Jordan Quintana all spammed the comment section the other day. There were over 200 comments on that video, so really these 4 were the best ones that commented the most on that video. So I want to do it again. Spam your RTRs if you guys are excited for the commitment of now 5-star Xavier Griffin. All right, this is where Alabama sits right now in the updated 247 Sports composite rankings. Now, I actually did the calculator, so, it wasn't updated as of filming this video. So Alabama lands there at that number 8 spot with 14 commits. Just to put it into perspective, the, calculator, it had Alabama at a rating of 247.06. That's kind of funny in 247 Sports composite rankings. 247.06 is where they're at, which would have slotted them at that number 8 spot. And Alabama is not done yet. We'll talk about some of those commitments coming up here in just a second, the upcoming decisions. But over the weekend, Alabama had 3 other commitments outside this one today of Xavier Griffin. You got EJ Crowell on Thursday. Same with Mack. Sutter saying Sutter now because, I hit up my boy at On 3, and he told me that they've been saying Sutter, and so I was like, okay, it's Sutter, so I pre-filmed all my videos saying Sutter, and then he puts out this highlight tape of like 4 minutes of people being Mack Sutter, Mack Sutter, Mack Sutter. So it's Mack Sutter. But anyways, Alabama gets the number 6 tight end there. And then Zay Hall also committing there on Friday evening. And now today, Alabama lands their second 5-star in their class in Xavier Griffin. So next up, we are going to talk about who could be next for the Crimson Tide, also landing a official prediction for a 4-star defensive lineman. But first, want to give a shout out to our friends over at Fanatics. You guys can get set up for the 4th of July and get this Alabama Crimson Tide 4th of July shirt today. Just go over to chatsports.com/Bama4th. That's Bama, the number 4, and then the TH there as well. I'll put that link down in the comment section and the description of today's video. But one more time for you guys, that's chatsports.com/Bama4th. Should also be a little clickable link over there in the corner of your screen as well. All right, like I said earlier, there's an opportunity for Alabama now in the next couple of days to land a couple more commitments in their 2026 recruiting class here. You got Owen Cable. He's the 3-star wide receiver. All these guys, by the way, have already been predicted to Alabama as well. Brian Williams Jr., another 3-star wide receiver. Cedarian Morgan, an opportunity for Alabama to land another 5-star in this class. And then you also, Jaira Edwards, the number 2 safety, another 5-star in this class. When it's all said and done, guys, there's a very, very good opportunity that Alabama could get 5 to 6 5-star recruitments in this class, which is kind of funny considering last week everybody was freaking out about all the 3-stars. So I want to hear from you guys here in the comment section. We'll get to this prediction here in just a second, but who will commit to the Crimson Tide next is probably going to be Owen Cable. That one's going to be on June 30th, but I want to hear from you guys down in the comment section. Who do you think will be the next player to commit to the Alabama Crimson Tide? All right, today, BamaOnline actually put in an official prediction for 4-star defensive lineman Nolan Wilson to commit to the Crimson Tide. His commitment date coming up here on July 4th. Back when he took his official visit to Alabama, coming out of that, all of the, stories and interviews and everything like that were really, really positive in terms of Alabama possibly getting the commitment from Nolan Wilson. I believe Alabama was the first team actually to end up offering him. He was the first unofficial and official visit Alabama was for him anyway. So there's been a lot of positivity when it comes to Nolan Wilson and the Crimson Tide. This is what he said actually after his official visit to Alabama back, a couple of weeks ago at this point now. He said, "My favorite thing about Alabama is every time that I go there, it always feels like home. They have always been the front runner, even though there are several others that I'm also heavily considering. But yes, some of those others, Auburn, Miami, and Ole Miss, by the way." He said, "My favorite thing about the visit this time was that they were more detailed into where I would fit into the system and how they would use me, and I like the idea of being the bandit. I also love the fact that they treated my mother like she was the guest of honor as well, and she was extremely happy, so that makes me happy." And I think that says a lot, too. Alabama's done such a good job of actually recruiting the parents as well. I think that comes from this just feel of everybody being genuine. They're not trying to fake anything. They're not trying to just throw money in these recruits' face. They're really just coming at this from a relationships point of view. And, when you talk about the kids that are committing to Alabama, a lot of them, they're just like the right kind of kids that fit the culture that they're trying to build here at Alabama under Kalen DeBoer. This is the potential defensive line class for Alabama. And everybody's been freaking out about the defensive line. We need to have a big defensive line class. I'll be completely honest. If you're not happy about the potential, about the possibility of this defensive line class for the Crimson Tide, nothing's going to make you happy. Jamarian Matthews is really, really good. I think Kamarian Johnson and J.J. Finch are extremely underrated. I think both of these guys are going to go crazy in their senior season. And then still nothing quite new yet on Anthony Jones. There was Steve Wiltfong the other day said as of right now he thinks Alabama is in the lead for him, but still no commitment date set up, still no official predictions or anything like that for Anthony Jones. And then Nolan Wilson getting the official prediction from the BamaOnline staff. That's a big one. And if Alabama can get now, 5-star Anthony Jones, very highly ranked 4-star in Nolan Wilson, top 100 guy in Jamarian Matthews. And then you got the two extremely underrated guys in Kamarion Johnson and J.J. Finch. If you're not happy with this class, I don't know what's going to make you happy.